Yeah, I guess we could touch on Ragnarok a little bit. The development's really good. The bugs are almost squashed, and we're actually bringing in more devs now to push over the finish line. But that, yeah, the idea there is to be a hustle, a side hustle. You have a limited amount of cards. Everyone on Hive, based on their Hive stake, has a deck, right? You can either sell it or keep it. But there shouldn't really be an excuse that, oh, well, I couldn't get a deck. You know, if you're on Hive, you were there at the time of snapshot, you're going to have one. And then it's just about, getting good at it. And if it becomes popular, knowing that everything that goes in doesn't come out. It's a different sort of game. There's so much money that goes into these assets that go into, founders' pockets when you can recycle 100% of it back into the game itself, create a tournament style, and then you have a predictable payout. That's all in the game theory. All of this is theory, right? How Ragnarok's going to play out, who knows? But the theory behind it is to create a way for people to enter something where they know what the pay relative to the payout's going to be, and they know next year it's going to be at least the same or higher. Well, it has to be higher if they enter because they have to pay to enter. So no matter what, they know the payout's going to be higher and higher every year. Variable on the HBD rate, maybe the HBD goes down, but still they understand that there's going to be a payout every year. It's not going to be snagged. They know 10 years from now, they're still going to be paying out. And the fewer people that play, the more money those, the more value I would say those people get. So it's sort of like Bitcoin mining. Fewer miners, well, that gets fixed real quick because it becomes very profitable for those. And where there's profit, people are going to. It's the old poker term. If you have an overlay, let's say I'm a poker room and I offer $100,000 tournament guarantee, but only 90 people put in 10K. Well, that means there's a 10K overlay. That means everyone that put money in is getting a better value out of it. It's more plus EV. It's more profitable for every player in there. So that's sort of the idea there, is to keep a self-balancing. If there's ever a few players, well, even if the game sucks, if you can earn something from it, there's going to be people hunting. And if there's even remotely amount of value, if you know my ideals, I like to create a nice, tight circular loop where it's a positive feedback loop where we're trying to make the most of everything we're given. If you're given energy to the game, if you're giving Hive, HBD, etc., your time to the game, I want to make sure that's encapsulated and given back to you times 10 if you're talented at the game. So I think that some of these side hustles are really great because you invest in something like Hive, you can build an app for pretty cheap on there, and then you can start playing the games, which help your underlying investment in Hive. Yet you can earn on the outside, so you don't have to sell your nest egg. That's what I like. I like to look. Like, you have to plan your life accordingly, and you try to look for those positive feedback loops.
I really think that's going to be really cool when, let's say you finish the Ragnarok game. It's all already open source as far as I'm aware, right, as you build it.
Yeah.
You're going to get someone else come along and say, hey, what bits of that game can I take? Do I take the whole thing and just change the color scheme, change a couple of the calculations, tweak it slightly so that it's a different version of Ragnarok, right, that maybe other people prefer? Or do they take just the skeleton of it and build a whole new game on it, but using the same base economic model? That's all going to be good for the ecosystem anyway. So I'm like, yeah, take it, fork it, do whatever you want to do with it, right? Run it on Hive. You can run it on your own blockchain if you want, but it's going to be a lot easier for you to run it on something like Hive because it's already designed for that. It's just going to be super class to see this start to happen where other people start to go, hey, you know what? Credit to They Call Me Dan. I've taken his game, I've modified it, and now I'm running my own version of whatever it is,
That's funny. I wanted to keep it a bit of a secret, but I can let a little out. So something exciting happened with the Ragnarok team. We've expanded. We'll make an announcement about who we've added, but we've added some very talented people, and they also wanted to create a game. So now, if you know what Ragnarok is supposed to be, it's more than a game. It's a base layer for games where you can build other games on top of them, because I believe games are just like skins. You have your Leo Finance, you have your D-Buzz, you have your 3Speak, you have your Hive Blog, PeakD, etc. Those are all skins, correct? Games are going to be the same way. You're not going to want to recreate an account or recreate a new character for every game. You're going to have your name, your stats, and your character, and you want them to be able to play in other games. That might seem a little mind-boggling to gamers, but it sounds very cool, does it not? You want to be able to, as a gamer, I want to retain as much time and effort I put into it as possible in my character. I don't want a new expansion to come out and then everything I did last expansion becomes obsolete. That's stupid. People have done that because there's no competition. Games have become very dull and weak, and people are like, well, we're the only game in town. You know, looking at something like a World of Warcraft, etc. The games could be so much better, and they can become. We've already seen people are bootlegging careers and making millions already just by being good, just from like Twitch and selling outside deals, but they're not making the money off the actual game itself. Fortnite's not paying them that much. Imagine that you could actually get paid from the game itself, or at least I don't like using the word paid, earning value, accruing value as a player in the game. You have something that's going to be long term, your character, so you're invested in it. And then on the outside, if you're also invested in Hive, you're having something that's helping the underlying asset. So look for Ragnarok to have its core game that you already know. You can go play it right now. It's open source, do whatever you want with it. And look for another game that's going to be able to play with your NFTs in that game. And the other game, you'll be able to play in the Ragnarok game with the NFTs. So that's sort of a semi-announcement. There are going to be more specifics there, but a lot of exciting things are happening with the Ragnarok. There's about to be an injection of life, and you're going to see a lot of new updates come at you. So, if you have your RCTs, get ready to be able to use them.